Hey, today I want to talk about my experience with VR on Linux. Well, many people say you can't even play normal games on Linux. Today I will show you how this is not true at all, because VR games work pretty well, in my opinion. Let's start with my setup. My first VR headset was an Oculus Rift S. Back when I bought it, I was still a Windows user, so I didn't look at the Linux support. I didn't manage to get the Rift S working because it needs extra software and this isn't made for Linux. So I looked around for another VR headset. But wait, for the Rift S users here, there's actually someone working on a Linux port right now. I just saw it way too late. I can't test it because I don't own my Rift S anymore. But check out Titan on Twitter for more information on the Rift S and Linux. His Twitter account will be in my video description. Well, back to my case. I didn't know of his work, so I looked for other VR headsets for Linux. Well, of course, the first company that came to my mind was Rails, after all that great work they done for Linux gaming. And even more after the Steam Deck, which runs Arch by the way. So I opened the Steam shop, opened the index page and oh, 1000 euros! Junge, das Yeah, okay, well I hear the Rive only uses Steam VR without any extra software, so they should work too, right? So let's check out the Rive page. Well, no price here. Where's it hidden? Am I blind? Okay, well, here we have the headset for 800 euros, but that's useless without the controllers and the base stations. Wait, the newest Rive still has these shitty controllers? Yeah, I don't like this at all. I don't find the price, nothing. Also, I think the possibility that the index works on Linux is much higher than that the Rive works. Because the index is from Rive, I think. Maybe. So, I guess... Sorry, bank account. So 100,000 Steam points later, my Rive index is here. Look at this, dude. So actually this was about 2 months ago, and back then I already tested it on my old PC with these specs. Nvidia setup. On this setup I encountered many problems that needed around half a week of tinkering till it was an acceptable experience. I made a Steam guide about all the problems I had and even posted it on Reddit so other people can maybe also send me their problems. If you see this video and also tested VR on Linux already, please write me your problems with the solution you found and I can write it down into my guide too. I sadly didn't record the experience on the old PC and I can't do it now anymore. But well, the first problem was that the Steam VR menu was flickering wild on one eye and sometimes it was invisible on one eye. Also the menus didn't work at all. When I opened up Beat Saber it ran great, even with more FPS than I had back on Windows, but it crashed after 5 minutes. So what I have done to fix the flickering was to change the beta version of Steam VR to the Linux beta. This fixed these problems instantly, at least for me. 2 people on Reddit, Gibarrel1 and Sit Up Straight, told me about another fix for this if this doesn't work for you. Just disable async. For that follow this part in my guide. Sadly when starting Beat Saber now it didn't even want it to start anymore. It always showed this error screen. This happened with all Unity games by the way, like Job Simulator for example. But this was also a really easy fix. I just changed the Proton version of both to 5.13-6 and it started working again. And now without crashing after some minutes. I played several Beat Saber songs with no issues. Now when I wanted to play other games like VRchat where I needed a microphone, I noticed it didn't work. But this was actually a quite easy fix, it's also in my guide here. Now after I stopped playing I had the problem that I can't turn off my base stations. Well, here we have no real fix because this is just no feature under Linux. But I have 3 great workarounds in my guide. Right now I use an app on my phone to control it, really easy, just one click in the app. After all these fixes I managed to play Beat Saber, Half-Life Alyx, Job Simulator and VRchat without real issues. Sadly Pavlov didn't start at all. I read online that's because of anti-cheat, but that can't be because you see later in the video it magically worked great on my new PC. Speaking about my new PC. My new PC shows again how great AMD on Linux is because my new setup has these specs. And full AMD setup, really nice. And this was actually really surprising for me. This was my first experience with Linux under AMD and it felt like I was in heaven. I installed Fedora Linux and done. I didn't have to install any graphics drivers or anything like on Nvidia. So I continued installing Steam, which also instantly worked and didn't write about missing 32-bit stuff like on my old setup. Well, I continued connecting my index and Steam instantly found it and asked me to install Steam VR, so I did. After this was finishing installing, I started it and I was impressed. I needed none of the fixes provided in my guide except of the workaround with the base stations, cause this is still just not a feature under Linux, but everything else just worked instantly out of the box. Mind blown. And even Pavlov instantly started. Works great. The last Beat Saber video I uploaded on my channel was also played under Linux. Maybe check it out if you want to see a full song. But here is a little gameplay. First VRchat. And now Beat Saber. And here's Pavlov. And here budget cuts.
Can you keep it down? Some of us are trying to look busy.
Boneworks. And Half-Life Alyx. All the gameplay you just saw was on a Linux. I'm impressed actually how great this works. Thumbs up for the index. Thanks Ralph. Linux is kinda VR ready, Linux is gaming ready. But sadly only under the right setup. You've seen under my Nvidia PC it didn't work perfect, so your experience can be different than mine. So if you want to buy a Valve Index or anything else, check out my Steam guide and good luck. So thank you for watching my video. Please give me feedback in the comments because this is my first real video where I also talk and all that. Please tell me what you liked and what you didn't like. I don't care if you press the like or dislike button, but please give me feedback in words in the comments. Thank you and have a great day.